One man is being victimized by our own government. One man whom they fear, yet whom millions love. One man who is willing to take the poison arrows of lawfare. One man whose voice has been taken away by a corrupt judge operating in a corrupt system. One man who has been ridiculed and insulted. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who refused to back down. One man who stands between us and them. One man that wants to see America protected again. One man who wants to see America prosper again. One man who understands that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. One man who understands and protects the blessing of life. One man who wants to restore American exceptionalism. One man who once again wants to make America that shining city on a hill for all to see. A place where all the people of the world glowingly set their eyes upon. America. One man who unashamedly wants to make America great again. That one man is Donald Trump.
This is Fanfare with Barry Cunningham.
What's up, everybody? On Monday? Tuesday? Whatever day it is, 8 p.m. Reason why it is 8 p.m. is because we had some really bad storms down here in South Florida that passed through. I was going to go live at the normal time of 7 p.m., but I couldn't get it. Things are booming, boom, boom. I'm just so happy I could flip the switch and go live now. I can't even use my earphones, the other ones, because they didn't have time to charge because I had everything off. But I'm here. And so just want to thank you guys for tuning in at 8 p.m. Different time, but I'm happy you're here. All right, so we got some stuff to discuss here. And today's not going to be how can I say this? Not going to be a pleasant show. Might be a little bit disturbing for some of you, but it needs to be said. So what has happened over the last 24 or 48 hours or so is that this campaign for both sides has now morphed. It is now gloves off. Donald Trump's ear has healed. The bandage is off. And now it's time for a battle royale. I'm going to blame this on Kamala Harris and her team. They decided they wanted to take this to an ugly place. They're doing things like white women for Harris, white boys for Harris. And you know Trump could never do that. He couldn't say white boys for Trump. Couldn't do it. People would freak out. So she's using her racial advantage for her benefit, if it is such a thing, which I don't think. I think someone in her camp somehow thinks it's an advantage, but it's not. I think it's making her look quite stupid and petty. And so now they've decided to even amp it up further. As you saw from the image, which I can put up again because it is that funny to me, they've been calling Trump, J.D. Vance, and Trump supporters weird. We're weird. So if you want to go there, Kamala, understand, I didn't intend on going here. It wasn't about me. You decided that you wanted to basically talk about a man, J.D. Vance, who basically has lived a good life, has pulled himself up from his bootstraps, is a happily married man with children, who said something about parents having a higher fulfillment than those with no parents, it seems. He said something about cat ladies that she took completely out of context. And instead of just leaving it there and saying, as a woman without any kids, I find that to be just a little bit out of bounds. But no, you didn't stop there. You didn't stop there at all. You decided that anybody who wants a traditional family life is weird. Most of you watching, she says you're weird. Me, she says I'm weird because I've been married for 33 years. They don't want anything to do with the traditional family. And so she decided she was going to take it to that level. And this show tonight is for you to determine who's weird and who's not. Now I have to be extremely careful. The people upstairs don't like me talking, don't like anybody talking about the weirdness that you're about to see. We're going to use that code word, weird. That's all we're going to say. No, that sounds weird. That looks weird, without saying anything about what the people are. I think that gives you enough of a definition of where we're headed here. So where did it start? Let's go back and, after she did it, I saw this tweet this morning. Excuse me, I got a cough. Yeah, I saw this tweet this morning, and it was by none other than AOC herself, and she's going after Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek says this whole their weird argument from the Democrats is dumb and juvenile. This is a presidential election, not a high school prom queen contest. It's also a tad ironic coming from the party that preaches diversity and inclusion. Win on policy if you can, but cut the crap, please. See, that's the problem. They can't run on policy. There is nothing that Kamala Harris can run on. She is basically Joe. She is Bidenomics. She is now Kamalanomics. Every single thing that has been happening in this country, the border, economics, it's all on her now. She can't extricate herself from Joe. This is it. Kamala, you're going to have to defend this stuff. So what does she want to do? She wants to take a completely left turn, way left turn, and call us, hundreds of millions of people, weird. It's basically her deplorable moment. Except she's loving it. She thinks it's fantastic, and everybody around her thinks it's great as well. So AOC replied to Vivek and said, being obsessed with repressing a woman's body is goofy. Not body, she just says repressing women. Didn't know Vivek did that. Didn't know in that tweet that he was repressing women. Trying to watch what LGBTQ plus people do all the time is abnormal. I had to basically respond there. I had to put it in a tweet and send it out there. Ain't none of us trying to watch LGBTQ plus people. I bet most of the people watching this video could care less if they ever saw that activity ever again. However, it is your side who is taking a blowhorn and sticking it in our face and ramming it down our throat. I'll just give you a little asterisk. The Olympics. I didn't ask to see that. I ain't trying to see that. I was there for a sporting event, and it turned into Sodom and Gomorrah. But that's what she said. Punishing people who don't have biological offspring is creepy. How is it punishing? Because he said that people with families should have a child tax credit? Of course they should. Of course they should. It's an incel platform, dude. Incel. Almost terroristic in nature. It's super weird. Super. Capital letters, super. And people need to know. What people need to know that being a father with a family is super weird. Who wants to feel that that is a super weird position? When did it become very weird to have a traditional family? How did this country go so far off the cliff to the point where we now say that having a traditional family is super weird? God save us. I mean, at this point, you need to pray. We need to schedule another prayer meeting, because if this is where we're going, where now the majority of society is considered weird, and this tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of people with their depravity is considered normal, something's wrong. I mean, something's seriously wrong. And if that's where we're headed, or if that's where we are, I don't know if we can come back from it. But what Kamala Harris is saying, between the newcomers and her newfound affliction for everything weird, as far as I'm concerned, weird, we're in a really bad place in America. I don't know how we pull out of this. If we pull out of it. It's just amazing. So I want to play you a beginning of a video here. I got a bunch of stuff to show you, because as they began saying that this stuff is weird, they all began parroting it on the news. This is on Jen Psaki's show that nobody watches on MSNBC, but I found this. Take a listen.
Just in the past few days, Democrats have kind of organically settled on a new attack line against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Basically, these guys are just plain weird.
You know there's something wrong with people when they talk about freedom, freedom to be in your bedroom, freedom to be in your exam room, freedom to tell your kids what they can read. That stuff is weird. They come across weird. They seem obsessed with this.
We're using this fake living room to talk to you about a super weird idea from J.D. Vance.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's quite weird.
But what was weird was him joking about racism today and then talking about Diet Mountain Dew. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew?
On the other side, they're just weird.
They're just weird. Who drinks Diet Mountain Dew? Who's trying to stay in shape? You're just weird. This is where they're going. This is what they expect to be their political campaign. I'm going to tell you this, and I firmly believe it. Donald Trump should offer to pay for their advertising. Because if this is the campaign that you expect on running, it's a losing proposition. If all of these politicians want to jump into this boat and say that Americans are weird because they want a traditional family, that is gotta be a losing proposition. Has to be. How can you? There are even obviously Democrats who have traditional families. I know many Democrats who have traditional families. Are they weird as well? No. They just have a different political ideology. What you're saying is you're pushing them away. If you don't want what we want, you're weird. Okay, I got you. Let's go into the weirdness here. This one here, this appeared on John Berman's show on CNN. I don't think it's the morning. I think it's the 10 o'clock hour. Listen to this insanity.
And the Harris campaign this morning seems to have fully embraced weird as a line of attack against Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
Some of what he and his running mate are saying, well, it's just plain weird.
These guys are just weird. That's who they are.
It's the weirdest thing. He'll go and like literally hug an American flag. Now, I love the flag, but I mean, it's like weird what he does.
You know, I think that my colleagues are pointing out the obvious, that the agenda, the way they talk to people.
Wait, what agenda? How is having a family an agenda? How is that possibly wrong? Do you not have any kids, Gretchen Whitmer? Did you think that this is just some kind of weird behavior? You know, the other guy, Josh Shapiro, who's trying to be her vice president, should she get the nomination, it's weird that he hugged the flag.
People, the way they address people, it is bizarre. It's weird. It is weird. I also don't want to diminish the fact, though, that it also presents a very real risk for us as a country. And
so, in addition to you being weird, you are a threat to the country. Not the people that they basically address. You people. Oh my God, you people who want families. You people who have kids or grandkids. You pose a risk to the country. What in the hell are they talking about? Why can't we just live our lives? You can live your lives. You're the ones who are calling this guy weird.
And weird is kind of a funny phrase to use because it's bizarre, but at the same moment, we've got to say this is a serious moment in this country.
I don't get it. I really don't get how they all coalesced, got in a big huddle and said, all right, guys, when we break this huddle, we're going to start calling all Republicans, MAGA people, weird. Why are we calling them weird? Oh, because they want to have families. That's weird? Yeah, now that's weird. And I bet you most of the people that were just in that video, I shouldn't say most because I don't think Jen Psaki has kids. I don't know if Gretchen Whitmer has any kids. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe these people haven't enjoyed being a parent. They don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense to them. We're single women. Hear us roar. I don't know. I know Gretchen Whitmer is married. I don't know if she has any kids or not. I don't know if J.B. Pritzker has any kids. I definitely don't know if Josh Shapiro has any kids. So what is weird about wanting to have a family and wanting to take care of your family and making them the center of your life? I'm pretty sure that's biblical. So what I'm reading into this is it's yet another ploy to divide the country and get people away from God. We're here to basically procreate and have families and keep things going. This is a zero population ideology. This is the ideology where she wants to tell single women, remove your babies, you don't need men, don't worry about it, be a part of the government. It's sinister. It's more than sinister. To me, it's criminal. So I got more, but I'd love to hear what you guys think of this so far. Democrats give out cards. They have talking points on them. 2,000 watching. Oh yeah, please go ahead and hit that like button.
Come on, show some love and click that like button.
Too dumb to raise children. I don't know if it's too dumb as much as it is maybe they don't want to do the work. Maybe they think it's a burden, like, wow, man, I'm going to have this baby and I got to deal with this thing for the next 18 years. And I've heard people say that, and I've had to tell them, if you think you're done when the kid turns 18, you're not ready to be a parent. It's a lifelong commitment. You don't get to 18 and go, well, my job here is done, Fred. Get the hell out of my house and you're okay. What? Yeah, we're done here. 18 years. That's done. No, every one of you who has children understand it's a lifelong commitment. It's a wanted lifelong commitment. People who have become estranged from their kids, it's like they have a hole in their heart. Unless there's been, something that's gone on in the family, which is none of my business. It's none of their business, but for the most part, people want to be familial. No family should be getting more back in taxes than they paid in just because they got kids. I'm glad you said that. Do you understand what a tax credit is, my friend? Because based on your comment, you just embarrassed yourself. You just said no family should be getting more back in taxes than they paid in just because they got kids. Perhaps before you comment, you should go look up the difference between a refund and a tax credit. Because you need some educating, my friend. Oh boy. Kamala for president in 2024. The world would be better off if Democrats don't procreate. Okay, I can't disagree with you. I cannot disagree with you. I'm weird. Everyone I know is weird. You can't come in my house unless you're weird. So I'm down with weird. Good point. Yep, we ain't trying to watch. You can't turn on the television. I used to be able to watch a movie for the plot and not have to see what you're trying to put in my face on every single television show over and over and over. Can I just watch a cop show? Why does every subplot in every show have to do with their side weirdness? Why can't we just have the shoot 'em ups where the cops got to go figure out who done it? Every single show, every single movie has to have some angle that never was there before. It's because they only care about themselves and how much money they can put in their pocket. Having kids would take away from that. Yeah, like the gentleman who didn't understand the difference between a tax credit and a tax refund. Big difference. Democrats are as bad as both the Australian Labor Party and their bedmates, the Greens. Okay. We are up against a juggernaut of lies and smear. He's talking about the wrap-up smear that Nancy Pelosi coined, where they just spout stuff and then the media runs with it and they think it's working. But I think they've gone a bridge too far with this one. I think it's going to be their deplorable moment because they don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Ask yourself this: why did CNN only be live at Butler? They knew, inside job. More and more on that's coming out. I haven't made a video on it because, man, the information coming out is absolutely nuts. So I'm going to try and encapsulate that into a story this week. I don't watch secular TV, and I haven't for a while. Smart, very smart. So because I'm weird, hey, I am allowed to post again, so I didn't stop you, so I see you, so it's there. James Kipp, weird is the new deplorables. All right, so I'm going to continue because I got quite a few things to go over. Let's look at this next thing here. This is a little bit longer of a video, but we're going to take our time and go through it. We're going to lead off with the ladies of The View. And I say the ladies of The View with quite the tongue-in-cheek. You'll see what I mean, because it's weird.
So I think we're being really kind and gracious by just calling you weird. And frankly, J.D. Vance, just dumb Vance, is...
You know what I find weird? Here's what I find weird. I didn't think about this until just now. I find it weird that none of these people have their own thought. They don't have a thought that comes into their mind and they're like, here's what I think. Somebody has to prescribe a campaign, a strategy, some sort of tactic. Somebody has to come up with it somewhere. And then they go, okay, call these people weird. Call these people weird. Call these people weird. Why don't you have your own ideology, your own mind? What do you think about the election and what's going on? Why do you have to wait to get talking points? I get on here often, hopefully every weekday night, and I don't repeat the stuff that Trump says. I don't repeat the stuff that J.D. Vance says. I have my own mind. I have my own ability to discern. Why is it that you people just get on television and then, of course, we know you're gaslighting America because now you're calling J.D. Vance and conservatives weird? But let's see what's really weird.
Pretty weird.
Hello, my name is Cal Wilderness. Hello.
Nope, that's not weird, is it?
She's just joy.
I'm the Greek goddess from Miami, Athena Dion.
And the whole audience claps along to weirdness. Absolute weirdness. But this isn't weird. You are. I am. That's not weird.
I'm the illusion that causes much confusion, Miss T. Lo Ivy.
She's right about that. She causes a lot of confusion because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Mr. President, this is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God. I can't say it. I can play it. I just can't say it. But no, that's not weird, is it?
I love you.
We talk on it.
Weird? No, that's not weird. You're weird. You Bible-toting grandparents and parents out there, you're the weird ones. You don't understand. This isn't weird.
Welcome today, everyone, to the White House. I'd like to briefly answer some questions. Go ahead.
Isn't it weird that they let these people go into the White House, into the places where government is basically talked about and discussed and contemplated, and this is where the press conferences are? Nah, that's not weird. You're weird.
Go ahead, I'm ready.
JVN.
Oh, yes.
Is it true that is all your natural hair?
Yes, I can confirm that this is not a wig.
Follow-up question. Do you use your own products?
I do use JVN hair, actually exclusively for over 4 years.
Thank you. Phenomenon. You know it.
Indeed, I do.
Weird? See, I'm having to be very careful with what I say. I can show it, I just can't tell you what I'm thinking because that's not weird. You are. Understand what they are doing here. Oh, I'm going to have to save this one. So you see what I'm saying? They are telling us that we're abnormal. They've decided to completely flip the script, put it in your face, and tell you, sorry, you're not realizing it, but you guys are the weird ones. Everything you knew has now become, how can I say this? Ups become down, blacks become white, goods become bad, bads become evil. Because you people don't understand. Now, this next piece is a new commercial that Kamala Harris's team, or rather a PAC supporting Kamala Harris, put out today. And in this commercial, well, I'm going to let you see it, but they're basically saying the people in this commercial are Republicans and conservatives. And these are what conservatives and Republicans are really like. In case you haven't met any, this is what they're really like. We have to let you know. So I'm going to go full screen on this one and just let you watch this magnificence.
MAGA Republicans banned abortion, but that's just the start.
That's just the start. If Trump gets elected, we want the government involved in all aspects of your sex life.
Way more involved.
Way more involved.
When you have sexual intercourse, it should be illegal to use contraception. No pills, no condoms.
Your genitals are reserved for procreation.
If you freeze 12 eggs, you should be required to have 12 babies, or else you're a serial killer. And I'm definitely not a serial killer.
Are you?
My son monitors my porn usage to make sure I'm not self-pleasuring.
Just like Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. That's true, you can look it up.
Don't you think that's normal?
Yeah, I do.
It's normal for your son to do that.
You should have a family member monitor your porn use too.
Because pleasuring yourself is very, very naughty.
I'm voting in November.
I'm voting in November.
We're all voting in November. Are you?
Because what happens in your bedroom is up to me.
Is up to me and my son. Also, mouth stuff is a sin.
They actually are going to run that on television. I told you this wasn't your mama's video tonight, that it was basically going to be troubling and repulsive. This is where Kamala Harris is taking things. This is what she wants to put out there into the public and let every single person know. You people are weird. Not us. Not me and my friends. Look at you, sweaty mess of people. Look at you. And everything I can do to make you look horrible is what I'm going to do. This campaign took a turn today that I think she can't come back from. So Barry, why are you showing this? Because you need to know it. You need to know how they are now classifying us. Not sure why she decided to go off the reservation today, but this doesn't make any sense to me. I can't. When I saw that commercial, here's the first thing I thought. As soon as I saw that commercial, I'm like, she's not running a real campaign. At this point, does she really want to be president? That was my initial thought, because I thought to myself, nobody would do something that stupid. I mean, I understand there's some whacked out lib nut lefties. I understand that. But I also understand that there are some Democrats who have their wits about them, who don't feel like they should be insulting almost half the population in the country. What Kamala Harris did today was, I don't care what you people think. In fact, you are an impediment to the life we want to live. Either deal with it or step off. There is no longer any room for conversion. And I don't mean that from a religious perspective. I mean conversion from Republican to Democrat, or trying to get someone to vote. It's over. It is over. The lines have been drawn. Do not get caught in the demilitarized zone. You independents, this is it. It's on you. The battle line is completely drawn. We're weird. What they do is not weird, and it's up for you people in the middle to decide where you want to take this country. Because they've drawn the line in the sand. Drawn the line right in the sand. I can tell you this, being a black man myself, the stuff she's doing today and her team is going to turn off a lot of black people. I will also tell you, it's going to turn off a lot of Hispanic people. It was okay. We knew that you had this affinity to the weird lifestyle. We knew that you embraced them. But now you're saying those of you who don't are weird. The word makes no sense, actually. But I understand what you're trying to do, and you're trying to denigrate us in whatever way you possibly can. It's sad when 20% of the population wants everyone to bow down to them. And yes, I'm talking about the alphabet people. Yeah, absolutely. Blowhorn to the face. Don't even ride over our crosswalk. Don't do it. Don't even say anything derogatory, which is why I'm having to be very careful tonight. You won't believe some of the other stuff I'm going to show you. I can't say anything. I just have to show it. Let you guys make up your own mind. That ad is for San Francisco only. It won't be shown elsewhere. You want to bet? How do I know that's not true? I just showed it. And everybody else is showing it. There is no defined market anymore. What are you talking about? It's out there on the interwebs, bro. Hey, Tom, forget that San Francisco only. There's people in this chat right now who aren't living in San Francisco, who just heard that, who just saw that. There are going to be more people who see this thing online than they will do in their commercials. Maybe they should have thought of that. Like, wait a minute, maybe we should release this, because what happens if other people across the country see it? What happens if people in North Carolina South Carolina. Oh, we don't care about them. That's the Bible Belt. Okay. So you just think that people in Pennsylvania are going to be fine with that, right? You think people in Wisconsin, oh, that's fine. They don't care. Okay. What's another swing state? Oh, you think people in, Michigan all going to be okay with that? All right. Yeah, Dennis says right. It's only about 1%. That is part of her 92% agenda. Absolutely. Let's see here. Yeah, we're in Florida. This is so dirty. Oh, there's more. There's more. Absolutely. Right there. Yes, they want us to bow to the woke DEI disease agenda that's in full force across Washington state. It's all over the place. The devil is flexing his muscle. We have spiritual power over the enemy according to God's word. Rebuke that devil. Yeah. You saw it at the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and if you haven't seen it, don't watch it. It's even worse than the stuff I'm just showing you right now. It is the most depraved stuff you'd ever want to see. So much so that NBC had to take it down from their website and from their Twitter feed. Let me ask you a question. That's another good thing to say. If everything was okay with what they did in Paris, why did they take it down? Oh, there was an uproar. So, if you believe that's fine, if you believe that's not weird, why did you take it down? My wife was showing her cousin and her aunt, and they said, we haven't seen it. Like, what do you mean you haven't seen it? Because by the time they went to look at the Olympics on their DVR, it was already scrubbed. So, obviously, she sent it to them, just like that commercial is being sent to everybody. Like, did you know this is what Kamala Harris thinks of you? So, no, Tom, it's not just in San Francisco. Have you been to South Beach in Miami? Yes, I have. Haven't gone there lately because of this same stuff. It's kind of nuts. But you know what? I don't have to go. I don't, if I choose not to go to South Beach in Miami, I can, I don't go. If there's an event going on, maybe if, when the Dolphins are playing, we may go over to South Beach and have a couple of drinks after the game. That's fine. I know what I'm getting into. I know what places not to go. But when you turn on your television and everything you turn, every single station, you're like, oh my God, can you people stop? Oh, we're weird. That's right. You can't. Celine Dion has a Transformer clothesline. Oh man, like she needs the money. Pennsylvania, the truth will set you free in my Bible. Yep. They say good is bad and bad is good. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Sicko demons. Yeah. So what's it say? So 8, seeing the Democrats morphing into the alphabet party. I don't think a lot of people thought that was coming, but it's coming. That weird video is meant to get people angry and low frequency, laugh at them, and vote them out. Yeah, I'm not getting angry. That's why I said Trump should pay them for the ad, just because it's informative. Doesn't make me angry. I just think you're an idiot. It looks stupid. What it does, though, it exposes what Kamala Harris thinks of the public. I have friends that are Democrats. I have friends that are independents. And I've shown this stuff to them, stuff I'm going to show you tonight, and they're like, yeah, this ain't cool, man. Is that what she has in store? Is this what she wants to do? In addition to all the other stuff that's been coming out lately. As I talked about last time when we talked about her wanting to basically give all the newcomers, make them citizens. At this point, gloves are off. This is where she wants to go. This is where she wants to take America. I told you about Venezuela last night and how they're just rigging the election there and they stole it and they don't even care. And you've got countries around the world saying, we're not going to recognize your government. We saw what you did. What did Kamala Harris do? She applauded it. She congratulated Venezuela. That's where we are with this. All right, so let's continue our weirdness fest here and look at this next piece, okay? Let's go.
Right now, I
So in case you're wondering, this group of liberal women, nobody has attacked them or hurt them or, done anything to them. This is what they do now. They just go out into the woods and scream like banshees and get out whatever they need to get out. Single women, Kamala voters. But, it's not weird. I have no words. I'm sure a few of you could afford to go see a counselor instead of just taking a bus out into the woods and screaming. They look like great women. They look like the type of woman I would want to bring home to Mom. Hey, Mom, this is Crazy Shirley. Crazy Shirley, meet Mom. Well, what's wrong, Crazy Shirley? Good Lord, what is wrong with these people? I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Oh, you guys remember this guy? Check this guy out.
Sec, democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Vote.
You're weird. You are weird.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're like really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called Initiative. Hi, White House. This is Cooper.
They're walking all through the White House. They're making a mockery of the White House. I have to keep stopping myself because I can't say anything. But you guys can see.
I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. All right here.
Cooper.
Sorry, Miss Jen. And Jen, don't forget to have fun.
If you don't like this, you are weird.
Spirit fingers, Mama. We need to get shots in the arms of every single American. I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
No, we don't. We definitely don't want you to make more of those. That was obviously back in the day, but still, this is what Kamala and her team have brought to the White House. They want you to know this is where they're going. Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Even under Joe. Now she's going to take it to another level. I can't explain it. But I'm not going to try. I'm just going to show you some things here. And I love it here because this is, I forget her name, but J.D. Vance is weird. Conservatives are weird. People on Twitter started posting things and going, "We're weird? You sure? We're the ones who are weird? Okay, there's J.D. Vance. The left wants you to believe that one of these couples is weird, and the other one is completely normal. Yeah, one of these couples is weird. J.D. Vance is weird. Meanwhile, there's your little kids at story time. Your stomach turning yet? J.D. Vance is the weird one. The one on the left is our Health and Human Services or whatever, Surgeon General. I don't know what her role is. And the other one isn't there anymore because it got fired because it was stealing luggage at airports. But before it got fired, it used to be part of the nuclear research team. That's not weird at all. Not at all. Oh, there we go. It's some old guy that likes to sniff people's hair. Not weird? Weird? No. No. That ain't weird. Oh, there's that guy again that stole luggage doing a training session at the White House. And he had a couple friends show up. You are the weird one now. You guys know who this is? You know who this is right here? I'll give you a second. That is Kamala Harris's stepdaughter. Yeah, it's still daughter, stepdaughter. That is her husband's daughter from another marriage or something. But J.D. Vance is weird. By the way, this person has raised like $8 million for Hamas. Not weird at all. This one really ticked me off. Grabian, which is a basically an aggregator for media, the data below demonstrates CNN and MSNBC are the locomotives pulling the Vance's weird talking point. In the last 2 days alone, they broadcast that DNC line, people are weird, more than 150 times between the two networks. So you've got two news networks that are doing everything they can to push this information out there. Like the gentleman who thought that was only going to be contained in San Francisco. Nah, that ain't it, man. Once it's out there, and we all see it, and we all can do whatever we want with it. You understand why the armor of God needs to be put on big time? You see what they're doing to your children? You see what they're doing to your family? And they're using the auspices of Youre Weird. The View, because I just had dinner. Sad to say, we the people have allowed and accepted this too long. As I said in my video early today, you got to fight. We can't. You can't expect Trump to do this alone. Can't do it. You have got to get out there, and I know some of you aren't on Twitter. Facebook will shut you down, but you got to do what you can to let people know what's going on. It was so funny when my wife talked to her aunt and cousin, like, you didn't see the Olympics? No. Oh, okay. Can I email you something? And what was funny, within 10 minutes of both of them getting the email, they both called. What is this? This is where we are in this world. This is what we're fighting right now. This is where things are headed if people don't stand up and take a swing. And I don't necessarily mean, physical swing. I mean, get in the game. Let everybody know it. What would you do if the world was ending? Besides, be happy because Jesus is coming back. But if you knew something was going to happen to your family, what would you do? If you knew somebody was at the window breaking in, what would you do to protect your family? Now, I don't expect you to go into the closet and grab the gun right now, but you got to use your cell phone and your computers and your iPads and use them right now to fight back. This might be the worst part of it. Our tax dollars are paying for this. Absolutely correct. Only God, no one sits above the truth. I can't hear to what crackhead Whoopi and Joy have to say about this. At this point, they don't, as I mentioned earlier, about them having to follow talking points. You work at MSNBC, you work on The View, it doesn't matter what you think. You get paid to promote what we're saying. They don't believe it. I told you before, extremely, how can I say this? There's no way that Whoopi Goldberg would want to pay 70 to 80% of her money in taxes. No way. But that's not it. The reason why you have that money is because you do what we tell you. Oh, by the way, I didn't know if you knew, but you sent $1.7 billion today to that country over there. Yep. You sent $1.7 billion to that country over there. Happy for it? Yeah, you're going to have to vote red up and down a ballot. Vote red for the dog catcher. Do everything. You're going to have to do this. Tina says, I love how you explain things to us old people without sounding like we're stupid. Thank you. You are the real human, not a preachy type. Love you, Barry. Thank you, Tina. And you're not an old person. They are basically at this point infringing upon your way of life. Everything that you've worked for, everything that you and your family have, they're coming for it. They kept saying, remember they kept saying, oh, no one's coming for your children. Right. But now they're not even trying to fake it. Kamala Harris has stood up, looked in a camera and said, I'm, 70, 80% of your income. Yeah, we got to hire 80, 90,000 IRS agents. Yeah. You're weird. Hey, Madeline. Barry, your show is the best information to wake up these middle people. This is truly disturbing, and God is not happy. He turned off the lights in Paris after what the stunt they pulled. And I just hope they don't turn off the lights here, because this is getting really evil. So let me go through a couple more here, and then I got some video for you. Okay. People have been fighting back. And the reason why I'm showing you these things is because that's all it takes to fight back. I don't know how many followers this guy has. He's got 36,000, but he's just posting a picture. He's putting it side by side. Weird, normal. That's all you have to say. He had 5,000 people like this picture. You can't see that. See, 5,000 people like this picture. That's all it takes. This is complete. We think Trump is weird. These are the people who think Trump and conservatives are weird. This is okay. You're weird. This is okay. This is normal. You're weird. That's okay. You're weird. That's normal. Cat Turd says, J.D. Vance is weird. A lot of people posted that. The guy on the left in this picture is one of the press communication directors in the White House right now. Yeah. That's normal. You're weird. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm just showing a picture. You wouldn't take a picture if you weren't proud of a picture. You wouldn't post a picture. There would be no way for people to see this picture if you didn't say, hey, this is me. So I'm not showing anything that hasn't been put out there. You wanted to look like that. You wanted people to know, yeah. That's not weird, though. We are. This one, I can't really show you the stuff. Good, it's blocked off because there's some very weird stuff on the bottom. But this man speaks, a black man. This whole Democrat trend of calling conservatives, Trump, and Vance weird is the biggest projection I've seen yet. Bingo. Democrats of all races and genders are some of the weirdest MFs I've seen in America. Think about it. A base that wants to swap, you know what, you can see it. A base that believes that men can have babies. A base that wants you to know their pronouns. A base that celebrates their pride for months at a time by riding bikes that way through cities. A base that sits on highways for climate. A base that celebrates baby removals. A base that wants to indoctrinate kids. They're not serious people. They're living in a sick fantasy land. Now, he's dead right. He is 100% right. Everything he said in there is what they are looking to normalize. Well, Barry, I don't understand how this affects me. I don't deal with that. I don't go into those neighborhoods. Doesn't matter. This is what they're going to be doing. They're pushing this ideology down your throat and have now made it a campaign strategy. The normalization of that which isn't normal is now a campaign strategy. The normalization of insanity is now a campaign strategy. I don't want to participate in your playtime endeavors. I don't care. I refuse to accommodate insanity. And right now they are going to make it in such a way that you have to accept it and accommodate it and promote it. That's where they're headed. You're weird. You live a weird existence. That's not weird anymore. That's normal. Accept it, deal with it, and get used to it. Here. This was a picture from the actual Olympic ceremony. It says J.D. Vance is weird. Liberals. And this was part of the Last Supper routine that they broadcast on international television. Right there. Absolutely. Well, I'll say it. You're weird. Captain. Oh, this was a good one. You remember this? Many of you may not even know what happened here. So let me tell you what happened here. This is in at Capitol Hill. This is in one of the rooms where they hold hearings. One of the people who work in the administration decided it would be fun to basically go down with his boyfriend and film that kind of video. And they thought it would be cool if they just went, and did something from behind and filmed this video and put it out on the internet for everyone to see. And nothing happened to him. No charges. Charges were dropped. The media just swept it under the rug. No big deal. You're the weirdo. What do you mean? I would never do that like that with a woman. Go into Congress and drop trowel and decide to make a video and then put it out someplace. It would violate so much of my the thoughts in my head. I can't even comprehend that. Hey, honey, let's go down to the Senate. Let's go in the back door where they have the hearings. I want you to film us doing the nasty so we can put it out there on the internet. Well, first of all, my wife would probably kick me upside the head because I'm weird. You're weird if you think that's a problem. Because to them, that's no problem. This country is in peril. And it's not going to stop. Now that they have basically set this in motion, there's no turning back. When you've called, it was one thing that Hillary called us deplorables, okay? But now we are being dismissed as weird, and those people are being considered normal. See, Hillary didn't do that. Oh, you're a basket of deplorables. Okay, what about the rest of the people? No, I'm not going to talk about them. She didn't go there. What Kamala has done is, y'all are weird, this is normal. This is what your government is now going to embrace. Get used to it. This is where I'm headed. I'm Kamala. I'm going to be the next president, and I'm going to make all of this stuff normal. Think I'm wrong? She said it. Oh, you might like this one. This is at the White House. Can't show that too long because people might freak out. Did you know that? Did you know that they had Transformers at the White House doing that kind of stuff? By the way, the person that I can't show you now, who is a Transformer there, actually went to jail because of something they did with a kid. But they were at the White House on Pride Month, and the other one was during an Easter egg hunt. God help us. God help us. Reinstate the Smith-Mudd Anti-Propaganda Act of 1948. End times. Yeah, it does seem like that. A time is coming. Where'd that go? Where was that? Okay, let me get it. So Jean says this. She says, a time is coming when men will go mad, and when they see someone who is not mad, they will attack him saying, you are mad, you are not like us. St. Anthony the Great. Bingo. That, it was funny. I was going to say that, and you said it in a comment. That time is now. That's the only difference. Where you said a time is coming, no. That time is now. The time now is when men are going to accuse other men of being mad because they're not mad like them. That is her political strategy. She should be bounced out of the race. Every poll should be just whacked. Should show Trump just running away with this thing. What in the hell is going on? How is she even allowed to be a candidate at this point? Is there no human decency in the White House? Unreal. It's unbelievable. If straight people acted like this, we'd be in jail. Everyone vote in person. Yeah, absolutely. Make America weird again. I know some of you might be appalled. You're like, why is Barry showing this stuff? Because you should know. We can't close our eyes to it anymore. Evil has arrived. Evil has no longer lurking in the shadows. Evil has kicked in the front door and said, it's time to take over America. What are you going to do to stop us? What are you going to do? 2 weeks ago, they tried to put a bullet in this guy's head. Evil has arrived, and they're daring us to stop it. Not even close. Daring us at this point. What are you going to do? You can't sit on the sidelines anymore. There is a war happening in this country, and you're in the war even though you may not be participating. Because that war is coming specifically to take you, your family, and your way of living and get rid of it. They're making no bones about it. Hey, yeah, I want to give 12 million people citizenship. I want to make everything you've seen tonight normal. That just completely disrupts your way of life. Completely. Let's see, I got one more for here. So, fortunately, there are some people, even on the left, I shouldn't say left, Democrats, who are sounding the alarm going, whoa. Hey, man, this is nuts. This is crazy. Don't go there. I saw this today. This was from Thomas L. Friedman, far lefty. Maybe not as far as they thought. He said, Democrats could regret calling Trump and his supporters weird. You think? Here's a guy who sat back and was surveyed the land and went, well, man, hey, this is a bit much. You shouldn't be going there. Oh my God, what are you doing? Let's go ahead and fight about taxes. Let's go ahead and fight about interest rates and stuff people care about. And y'all have turned this into a complete political farce. And even Democrats are now starting to look at this thing, and they're publishing stuff, and they're saying stuff on television and going, I think you took this a little bit too far. Unfortunately for Kamala, it's too late. It's out there. And at this point, there is nothing she can do about it. They decided to go for it. They put it out there. And now people see it. They've been repulsed. And this is when you'll start seeing the polls go down. Maybe not initially because they're still trying to manufacture stuff. But they're trying to manipulate everything they can. But this is when people start going, huh? I don't want my country to be that way. I go to church every Sunday. I missed it this Sunday. I go to church. And I'm sure, as I look around, There's some people in there who are Democrats. There has to be. It's the law of averages. It's not 100% conservative. I'm sure there are some Democrats in this church. So if they're in this church, they must see this stuff themselves and go, hey man, that's who I'm associated with? A reasonable person would ask that question. They'd have to. Just because I'm a Democrat doesn't mean I'm a nut. And now you said everything on this side is weird and this is our new normal. But it's beginning to bite back. Check this out from CNN. I found this to be quite fascinating.
Is slamming Vice President Kamala Harris and warning that some may be trying to deify her. Listen.
This is going to be a great test of the power of the media to take someone who formerly was universally disliked and transform them into a godlike figure.
Formerly disliked. I think this is going to ramp up the dislike of Kamala Harris. She can't distance herself from this right now. She's pushed all in.
And they will use everything that they have to try to do that. I know the media is going to do everything to make her seem like Martin Luther King in a different body, but...
No, they won't try to make her look like Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King would be basically excommunicated from today's Democrats. He isn't far enough left. Remember, Martin Luther King said, I would like my sons and daughters and grandkids to be judged by the content of their character instead of the color of their skin. So as incredibly smart as Ben Carson is, you missed that one. You missed that one big time. They would never accept John F. Kennedy. They would never accept Martin Luther King in the Democrat Party. Remember, their two biggest slogans. JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. Dude, you're crazy. Ask what I can do for my country? No, they need to give me. I need reparations, bro. I need to get as much as I can. Y'all need to take care of me. You're talking about standing for a national anthem? Screw that. He couldn't be in today's Democrat Party. Martin Luther King, I want my kids to be judged by the quality of who they are as people, not the color of their skin. No, man, I'm a black man. I deserve everything. I'm a black woman. Give me. Well, no. What's your merit? Merit? It's all about DEI, bro. Right now, didn't earn it is the way to go. Martin Luther King would be rolling in his grave right now. What do you mean? Just because you're black, you think you're entitled to something? Yeah, not only that, white people need to understand they need to check their privilege and understand that they need to bow down to me. What? That's where we are, folks. That's where we are.
I think people maybe are not going to be as easy to manipulate as that.
He's right about that. So listen to this piece. It didn't go the way I think Abby Phillip here, the black woman who's the host on CNN, didn't go the way she was hoping it would go.
It's been so built up by the media right now. I've got to believe next week we're going to see this little bit of, well, are we sure? Is she as godlike? Is she as special as we're all saying?
No, because I mean, is it the media or is...
Yes, it's the media. You guys are fawning over Kamala like she walks on water. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, before Joe decided to do whatever he decided to do, they hit her. Nobody liked her. Her approval rating was in the toilet. So now, since then, all you've done 24/7 on every show is to pump her up. So to answer your question, Abby, yes, it's you.
Is it that Democratic base voters are responding to her?
Has a point. And my friends in the media and my friends who are in the Democratic Party need to grapple with this point. And
now this guy here is a never Trumper rhino. Hates Donald Trump. But even he's like, hey man, y'all need to think about this one.
I know that they won't, or I fear that they won't, which is that there's a whole swath of America out there who feels like they have been systematically gaslit about Joe Biden and his age. There have been some...
Media doesn't want to accept that. There are a lot of people who are like, man, you've been lying to us for years.
Segments. There have been people who work in this building who have written browbeating things about the New York Times, even polling on the issue of whether Biden is too old. Like, that's pretty controversial, New York Times. I'm not sure you should do that. It's in March of this year that between Robert Hur coming out and people such as Kamala Harris saying that Robert Hur's thing was clearly politically motivated, she said, and obviously inaccurate. She said that in February. So to come off after all of this, and then suddenly a bad debate, everything gets scrambled up, and then Kamala...
Look at Abby's face. She can't even take it. It's not what she's being paid to do, and the only thing she can do is maybe never invite this guy on the show ever again. How dare you talk this way about Queen Kamala? We need to prop her up. She needs to beat Donald Trump.
Comes and we see 1 week of flowing and gushing, yes, reflection of the euphoria that is real that people are experiencing. And I actually am happy that people are experiencing euphoria. However, that feeling that the other people are experiencing is also real, which is that stop gaslighting us right now.
Exactly. They don't even care about your feelings. It's all about Kamala. And what he said there was completely true. Hey, man, I got feelings too. Quit gaslighting me. Quit trying to do a psyop on me. We can see this is BS. And you're just going to keep doing it every single night, every single show, hour after hour, that Kamala is great, and you think we're supposed to just accept that? And then today you're going to tell us we're all weird?
And if you keep doing it, I've gotten emails from, and I'm not a pro-Trump person at all, from people who saying, if people keep doing this, I'm thinking about rage voting for Trump. That is a terrible outcome.
I'm thinking about rage voting for President Trump. Dems don't want to hear this. You screwed up. You went too far. People on here tonight, they know you went too far. You tried to normalize depravity. You tried to normalize kink. And you wanted everyone to basically understand that having a family ain't the way to go. That this is the way to go. That this is normal. Not realizing it represents less than 2% of the people in the country, but yet you want to just ram it down everybody's throat. It's insane. Peeing down our backs and saying it's raining. Exactly. I appreciate your show, Barry. Thank you. Trying to just give you some information. Harris slogan, you can be a Marxist like me. Nope, that's not the slogan. Because what you just said there is you can be a Marxist like me. Her slogan would be, you will be a Marxist like me. You won't have any choice. We're going to take your guns. We're going to raise your taxes. We're going to bring this insanity and depravity as make it normal. You're the weird one. We're going to have to make you understand. You will be a Marxist like me. Start stocking up food closer to the election. Yeah, this country is going to go off the rails. Yep. Can you imagine if somehow they do a Venezuela and they steal it again? I can't. I can't. The Democrats want to take everyone's money away and have communism socialists tell me, you're absolutely right. All values and morals are out the window. Giving reparations because her family had over 1,300 slaves. Yeah. Plainly insanity. And the thing is, I want anyone who is in that alphabet area to understand, I don't have any problem with you. I don't subscribe to your ideology. I don't think personally it's the right way for you to live. But you're not going to see me knocking on your door saying you have to change. I'm not going to take you away to some camp and say, you need to understand you shouldn't be living this way. Not going to happen. All I'm saying is, if you choose to live that way, go ahead and live that way. Don't expect me and don't try to force me to accept it. That's all. You want to live a certain way? I can't control that, nor would I want to. However, Kamala Harris does want to control the way I think and many others think. That to me is really bad. Kamala still hasn't gotten a nomination, which by all rights the Democrats do not have a constitutionally correct way to enter the race. Yeah, they do. It's their ace in the hole. And it's coming. They know probably at this point there are certain states they can't get Kamala on. So here's what's coming. I would venture to guess that Trump will never be the 47th president of the United States. Because by the time we get to the election, the 47th president of the United States is going to be Kamala Harris. Trump will be running to be the 48th president of the United States. I think we're only a matter of time before they install Kamala Harris as president. If you watch Joe today, he ain't got nothing left, man. He's pushing her ideology with trying to expand and hurt the Supreme Court. I don't like how the Supreme Court went, so we're going to just change it. She's already probably just measuring the curtains in the Oval Office, what she wants to do. It's July 29th. Watch what happens. Watch what happens in the next 3 weeks. August 22nd is when they're supposed to nominate their candidate. Who knows what they're going to do? Yep, they are diehard communists, brainwashed by the school system, all started by the haves, but the useful idiots will never realize it until it's too late. They don't get a piece of the... No, they don't realize it. They have no idea. They're just marching in lockstep, thinking everything's going to be fine. So I think it's a Democrat honeymoon with cackles. Nope. I don't think it's a honeymoon. I think it's fraudulent. I think everything you're seeing is AstroTurf. There's no way her numbers are where they are. Nope, not possible. How do you go from being a drag on Dementia Joe to now being the best thing ever? It's the media and people like CNN. So let me get through another cut here so I want you guys to see. This is... All right, this is old, cranky James Carville. And he's got a message for the Democrats here. A message that they should probably listen to. Listen to what he says here.
Yes, but I got to be the curmudgeon. I have to be the skunk at the garden party. This is too triumphalist, okay? This is everybody's giddy. I look at the coverage and it's great, and if I had to write a play about what I think it's going to be like, it would be entitled The Ice Pick Coming.
So, he's talking to two people on MSNBC here. And he's like, this is all giddy BS. I've been around enough. I've seen it. You guys you don't fool me. I'm James friggin' Carville. I've been doing political campaigns before you guys were in diapers. And this is BS. This is complete AstroTurf. And he just said, what I see coming, I'm going to name it the Ice Pick. And those of you who have seen mob movies, like maybe Goodfellas, he's about to tell you why he calls it the Ice Pick moment.
Okay? Get ready. They're coming. All right? And it's good. Everybody should feel good and liberated and everything else. But if we don't win the election, we haven't done anything. Mm-hmm. We haven't changed the temperature in America. We haven't changed anything. And I think the vice president, I hope that, her campaign is getting ready. I hope they'll listen to my friend and fellow New Orleanian, Don Brazil, who actually, I think, has the same kind of view of politics that I do. And they're coming at us. And they're going to keep coming. And this kind of giddy elation is not going to be very helpful much longer.
And look at the people's faces there. The black woman's just like, she don't want to hear it. She's like, Jim, what are you saying? And the host is kind of smirking. And James is telling him, they're coming for you. Y'all better be ready because they're coming for you.
That's not what we're going to be faced with. And I think the vice president, put it in athletic terms, needs a really good cut man in a corner because she's getting ready to get cut.
Bingo. Couldn't have said it better myself. She better get a good cut man. Cut man is the one who, when you're getting beat up in boxing and your eyes are all swollen up, you need to cut it so you can see. She's about to get bloodied. She's about to get beat up. Trump has sat back. He's watched her. He's let her say all this stuff, and now it's time to beat on this woman. It's time right now to make her know you're about to, as who was it? Mr. T said, about to feel some pain. And all her supporters and all these people, they're not ready for it. Us weird people, we know how to fight. And I'm not even talking about hurting anybody. I'm talking about fighting politically. Fight for your political lives. Fight for this country. Share everything. Let everybody know this woman is full of it. Your country depends upon it. I don't mean to sound at all like I'm saying a bad thing, other than we need to win. And at this point, you need to get off the bench and get on the field. That's my instruction. That's what I'm trying to tell you tonight, is don't take it for granted. She's got the media. She's got big donors. She's got big tech. They're doing everything they possibly can to make sure that they make you weird. Make you accept being weird. Make you doubt yourselves. Yeah, we have one location at this point, and that's Twitter and X and YouTube for a little bit of stuff. But for the most part, we need to deluge the independents and go, have you seen this? Have you seen this? Oh, have you seen the pictures I just showed you? Is that okay with you? Is that the life you want to live? So let's continue with the last piece of this.
When I saw Trump demolish Joe Biden for 90 minutes, I didn't see him weird. When I saw Trump go like this, fight after surviving a bullet, I didn't think weird.
You know that picture? That picture of Trump saying fight, fight, fight? You know they are scrubbing that from the internet? Yep, they are scrubbing that picture. Facebook won't even let you see it at this point. If they can find it, they're taking it down. They are looking to demoralize everybody on the right, because a demoralized population is much easier to control. I'm telling you, it's coming, and it's only July.
Most people don't see that when they see Donald Trump. And if you want to play that game, we can play it all day. Look at the Biden White House. You got cocaine, you got rabid dogs, you got secret Parkinson's doctors, you have Dylan all up in that place. It's political projection. They leaked something. Trump was going to call her weird, so she's like, oh, okay, rubber glue. This is like the lamest thing you've ever...
It is. It's the lamest thing ever. They don't want you to see patriotism in any way, shape, or form. They will do anything for you not to be patriotic. They will do anything to destroy your morale. They want to take it from you. Don't let them. That's what I'm saying tonight. Yeah, they found that in the White House as well. Just wait to see what happens when she picks her VP. Her shortlist is really bad, and there's a lot of dirt. All their posts is going to bite them in the butt. Mark Kelly, understand he worked with a Chinese spy organization. Josh Shapiro has some lawsuits out there for sexual harassment. It's not good. Pete Buttigieg, good luck with that one. How these pretty boys like it when they get drafted, because it may happen. Yep. Barry, how does that work? Okay, what's this? How does what work? How does that work if she takes over for Biden? Is that considered her first term? Can she run in 2028 if she's elected in 2024? Yes. All right, so if you go back and remember Gerald Ford, yes, you can continue to run. That's probably the only reason why they wouldn't put her in now, because if you don't want to waste that, because then you'd have to run all over again in November. You'd have to be in unless they just realize her numbers are so bad, they're like, let's just trash the country and do what we can before the inauguration happens. So we're going to have to sit back and watch, because who knows what they're going to try. Joe's done. He's got nothing. Nothing. Kamala has the media. That's all she's got. 25th Amendment. I'm not even talking 25th Amendment. I'm just saying he just walks out and goes, I'm done. I'm going to go back to Delaware and just hang out. I don't want to be president anymore. She assumes the presidency. They don't even have to kick him out. That could definitely Could definitely happen. Trump would never put the pride flag on the White House, and they know that. You know it, I know it, they know it as well. The media needs to be blacked out until after the election. How can we cut all their fees? We can't expect it. Like I said, you're whatever you can do to influence and show people things, it's going to be on you at this point. You're going to have to get it out there. Hey, SV, thank you for saying that. Being normal is now weird. I bet you there's going to be a time where we're not allowed to say the word normal anymore. I think that's where we're headed. What else we got here? They are making her the next best thing in disguise, and she is a demon. You know what's funny? Everyone's saying how great she's doing. The enthusiasm is off the wall. She has yet to talk to anybody away from a teleprompter. She is Joe in high heels. Wait till she going to do a press conference? Why don't you do a press conference, Kamala? Why won't you just get out there and take some questions from the press and see what happens? I know there will be softballs, but I'd love to see her answer a doozy question. Most of us on the political right have one thing the left does not: God. Read Matthew 25 when Jesus returns. Read where he sends those on his left. Yep, we're believers. Let's just accept the fact that when it comes to what the Democrats will do, nothing is off limits. You're absolutely right. Whatever happened on July 13th, we saw nothing is off limits. Nothing. Mark Levin invited her to a show for an interview. She won't do it. In fact, they as I said yesterday, they tried to say all this stuff about her taking on a debate and that Trump wouldn't. Stephen A. Smith was out there. Trump running away. He running away, man. Well, no, because she won't debate on Fox. And Fox isn't the best place for Trump either, but she won't step near Fox for a debate. She knows. She knows if she gets those hard questions, she's toast. Gina says, I've literally thrown up. Gina, I'm sorry. Gina Capuagina. Okay. Yeah, it's some tough stuff to look at. But you have to see where they're going with things. You have to know what their mindset is and what they think of you and how they want to destroy your mindset. See, without having God in your life, you can think that you can destroy somebody. I'm going to completely demoralize these people. I'm going to call them weird. I'm going to do all this. But as long as we have God on our side, that's not going to happen. We just look at you and like, okay, that's your best shot? Well, I've got some resolve here. I've got some resolve because I know how this ends. Kamala has anxiety issues. Yeah, I've heard that. That's why she gets on stage and they start asking her questions. She's gonna play the angry black woman role as often as she possibly can. She's gonna call Donald Trump a felon, all this stuff. Everything they possibly can, she's gonna do it. Not realizing you got no original material. You're just gonna say the same thing over and over again. What are you gonna do about gas prices? What are you gonna do about grocery prices? What are you going to do about interest rates? What are you going to do about immigration? Do you know? And this is where I have to tell you something why the polls are crazy. Nationally, Trump is up 80-20 in regards to immigration. He's up 70-30 in regards to the economy. So the only thing she's talking about and the only people she's referring to are those who hate Israel and want to remove babies. That's it. That's the entirety of her platform. She can't speak to what people really want to see. What are you going to do for me? How are you going to make my gas prices better? How are you going to make my grocery prices less? Because she doesn't care. Doesn't care. It is sickening, but we have to know what's going on so we can be intelligent. Yep. Well, everybody, that's it. What I have for tonight. I hope it wasn't too tough. I'm here tomorrow. I hope YouTube doesn't see what I put out there and say, you know what, we're going to tear down his video. But put it, how do I say this? They think they've put us in a dark place. They think they've put us in checkmate where we won't know how to respond. I'm challenging you to respond accordingly. Let people know you're not accepting it. You're not going to go out like that. You're not weird. And they are the ones who have a problem, not us. But you have to let everybody know. I know it's very hard. Like, how do I bring up this kind of conversation? How do I tell people that what they're doing when they're not paying attention? Well, you have to show them. You have to show them the images that made you feel bad watching tonight. You need to sit down with a friend and go, did you know that these guys did the dirty in the Senate congressional hearing room and then made that film and put it out on the internet and nothing happened to them? What do you mean? Oh, you didn't know about that? Oh, okay. Did you know that Kamala wants to take 70 to 80% of your income in taxes? No, I didn't know that. Oh, here it is right here. You have to engage. It's not enough for you to sit back and basically get educated. You have to engage with people who don't believe it. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. It is very hard, especially with all the restrictions we have on it and all the restrictions you have in the workplace. But you can start with friends. You just ask them, hey, what do you think about Kamala? Oh, she's great. Do you know she wants to take 80% of your income? What are you talking about? Tell them. Do you know she wants to make 12 million of these newcomers citizens? No, I didn't hear that. Tell them. They don't expect people on our side to be proselytizing all the stuff that they're doing bad. It's crazy. All right, guys, I'm going to check out. See you guys tomorrow. Share the video. Hit like the video, by the way, before you leave, please.
Come on. Show some love and click that like button.
And I'll see you. I'll probably